buttons. Okay, we're live on YouTube. We're about to be live on Instagram.
Good morning, everyone. It's the 24th of December, 2025, Christmas Eve.
Wonderful. Good morning.
Morning, all. Beautiful day.
And just accidentally deleted the whole Instagram. That's
I've been
What?
deleted.
No, I just added. Oh no,
no,
just added.
my
Oh.
Instagram. I was going live and I just deleted the whole thing.
I got to Sarasota at 1 a.m. I've had a shortened sleep pattern, but it's okay. I'll get a nap later.
Please do.
Beautiful day in paradise. Vida, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm really happy to be here, coming from Savannah, Georgia at the moment. Normally from my tiny little Greek island up in northern Greece, which is where I spent most of my life.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm in Florida. I'm not too far from Savannah. I am not too far from Savannah. I'm saying I'm in Central Florida.
Oh, wonderful.
Please put your in the chat box where you're watching from. Hashtag KMT for a. What are we giving?
Let's see. What's a special Christmas Eve giveaway? A
Dr.
Kiltz
Nelson
cup.
hat.
A Dr. Nelson hat.
There we go. And if you have any questions, we're going to be talking to Vida in a second. And
it's Vida. It's pronounced Vida.
Vida. Okay. Vida. That's how I would say it in Spanish, but
that's right.
La vida, la vida, la vida. Well, why don't we open it up, Dr. Nelson? Let's get this show on the road.
So Vida,
was it Christmas Eve?
It's Christmas Eve. Tell us about how you ended up here, how you improve your health. You're a coach as well, and tell us your story.
Yes. This is primarily, my discussion will primarily be around herpes virus, which I suffered from in unbelievably intensive outbreaks. And first starting on my face as HSV1. Just so I'm clear, there's 8 different types of herpes viruses that we carry. For those who don't know, the herpes virus has been with us for millennia, literally since before we were even human beings. It has been being passed around through primates. So it's something that coexists with us. And when we get out of balance, it allows for the virus to come through and express itself, whether it's on the body or inside the body. So I have 4 and quite possibly 5 of these herpes viruses. When I was a kid, I was getting cold sores. Most everybody has cold sores, which are HSV1 herpes, genital herpes as well. I got chicken pox when I was a kid, so I've got herpes zoster, or the varicella zoster virus. And I also had mononucleosis when I was 16. And that is where the Epstein-Barr virus comes in. So I'm documented for the first 3. I am not documented for Epstein-Barr. However, I carry all of the symptoms. I have not specifically gone and checked for the Epstein-Barr, and I did have mononucleosis quite a lovely episode when I was 16 years old. And then there is the 5th herpes virus, which is apparently that one is also, I'm just learning about it, is about 95% of people have it. It does not express itself on the skin, but it is something that most people carry. So I, as a kid, always got cold sores, but they were just regular, like everybody else gets, you know, just one on the lip. But when I was, gosh, in my 30s, I started to get, from my nose to my chin, my entire mouth,
Wow.
inside and out, thousands of herpes outbreaks, cold sores, thousands of them. And I had them continually for 8 months. It goes for about a 3-week process and then, you know, it's done. But then I would be okay for 1 day or 2 days maximum, and then it would happen again. And I freaked out, of course. It was awful. I was living on the island in Greece. And so everything was relaxed. I was not stressed. Things were, I couldn't explain it. I did go in. The first outbreak happened because of a mole that I had gotten removed and checked for cancer. If it was a cancer, it was in situ. But the waiting time in between was very stressful. So that was my first stress response. But then I found out I was fine, and the outbreaks kept coming. They kept coming and coming and coming and coming. So I went through the entire spectrum, all the medications, the antivirals. I was putting on all the creams. I was doing everything, alternative medicines. This was going on for 8 months continually. And then I came across online the raw vegan diet. And I thought, well, there's nothing else I can do. All the doctors were telling me it's herpes. There's nothing you could do. You just have to live with it. Take the antivirals and okay. The antivirals weren't working. Nothing was really working. So I went raw vegan, and I thought I'll do this for a month. We'll see. I didn't expect anything to happen. I didn't believe in it. But in fact, I did feel better, and I did get better. The outbreaks lessened greatly. And I thought, well, this is it then. This is it. And I was doing well for about 6 months. And then I went out to dinner up in this beautiful mountain area. If you guys ever come to Greece, in this beautiful mountain area that nobody goes to. And the sheep are living up on top of the mountain. And, you know, you're eating animals that are just pure, completely pure, and extremely delicious. So I tried some meat that day along with a regular Greek meal, and I got an outbreak. And I was convinced that it was the meat that was the problem. Convinced. And I thought, I will never, ever, ever eat meat again. So I continued vegan. I started getting outbreaks again. As the years went on, the outbreaks from my face, on my neck, I got them on my body. I was getting genital herpes. All these herpes outbreaks were coming out. 12 years of continual outbreaks of, let's say, 8 times a year. So about 8 months out of the year, I could not function. I could not work. I could not go outside in the sun in the summer times. And who doesn't want to be on the beach in Greece in the summer times, right? And I just went through the entire spectrum. I started eating fish again. I started, I couldn't come to it. I could not find an answer. And one day I'm back in Greece on the island in a full body outbreak. And I came across something called the herpes diet, where they say, you eat foods high in lysine. I knew all about lysine. I was taking loads of lysine throughout my outbreaks. Well, that query led me to Dr. Sean Baker. This was 5 years ago. And I'm listening to one of his videos, one of his early videos, and I'm thinking, what the heck is a carnivore diet? Are you kidding me? You're just eating meat and nothing else, and you're still alive? How does that work? But at the same time, I was at the end of my rope. I figured this is how I'm going to get old. This is how life is going to be for me. Just 8 months out of the year, I will be in bed with these full body outbreaks. Like you can see here, this was the ending on my wrist. It was the end of the outbreak. This was happening on my face, on my neck, both sides of my neck, both sides of my torso. And that was the beginning of an outbreak right there. And, things going on, like life happening like that. So I decide to go carnivore. I got Paul Saladino's book at the time. And I thought, well, I'll try it for a month. And I was so scared because I was just certain it was going to give me a heart attack, or I was going to have a stroke, or something was going to happen. All this fat, right? Meat and fat, it was going to kill me. There's no doubt about it. That's what the entire world was telling people anyways. And so I remember the night that I ate my first, it was pork. They were pork chops. That's what was on hand. And I ate that food in the evening and I went to bed, and it was the first time that I had slept all night long without getting up to pee like 2 or 3 times, right? I was 56 at the time, so I was just going through menopause. I was one of the late menopause people. And so I would get up and, I had to pee all the time, and it was the dribble kind of peeing. And I had arthritis. I used to be a yoga teacher, but I had to stop my yoga practice because I had arthritis in my shoulder. I had gained weight. UTIs happening, that sense of being imbalanced and not walking steadily on the earth. So many different things that I had never noticed was a problem until they went away in that first month of going carnivore. I still got herpes outbreaks, but they were so much better. And I was thinking, well, God, I'm beginning to feel like a normal human being, not normal in the sense of what I was like at 35, but how it seemed we needed to be living in this life on a daily basis. I would wake up every day happy, excited. I'm certain it must be the ketones, the steady energy. I didn't have any of the emotional fluctuations up and down, things that used to really, really upset me. My husband would say about this, that, or, an argument didn't bother me anymore. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? How is this possible? And the more I did it, it took about 6 months for my herpes outbreaks to stop completely. But each time they happened, they were less and less until it was just, one small. I ended up at 6 months later with 2 dots on my wrist. You guys saw the image of what my normal outbreak would look like. Just 2 little dots that lasted a day, and the next day they were gone. And that was it. So I kept going, of course. And as time went on, I started thinking, well, Vida, the shame that comes with herpes outbreaks, whether you have genital herpes and it's minor, whether it's on your face, there's shame comes into the diagnosis of herpes. Herpes has a bad rap in the world, and it shouldn't, but it does. And so I thought the shame that I had been feeling all these years, I'm going to step out and start a YouTube channel, start a TikTok, or, and just start talking about the possibilities. Because if I got better on a carnivore diet, quite possibly somebody else will also benefit. And so I started the Vida Goes Carnivore YouTube channel and started talking about it and hoping to, in some way, eradicate the shame that is wrapped around a herpes diagnosis. And people began to come forward and talk to me, and I've helped them through. Some people, not all of them, have embraced the carnivore diet and have found benefits as well. The ones that stay carnivore, not everybody stays carnivore, but the ones that have stayed carnivore have cleared up. There's a beautiful woman who was getting outbreaks around her eyes, and she has been carnivore now for, I guess, about 8 months to a year, and her outbreaks are gone as well. Her herpes outbreak stopped probably about 4 months in, and she's an older woman. She's in her 70s. And it is so encouraging to speak with others, and really quite beautiful to step over my own boundaries and come out to the world and just say, hey, you got herpes, eat meat, give it a try. It might not be for you, but it might in fact work. And it's just so encouraging to me to be able to be here and talk about this, because so many people have herpes, if not nearly all of us, I'll put it that way. We're in 90% of people have one form of herpes or another. Not to the extent that I had it, but it is prevalent. So it's been 5 years now, and I'm going strong. Sometimes I will go in and try eating something ketogenic. I made the mistake of trying to eat a salad 2 years ago in the summertime, just lettuce with my own Caesar dressing with anchovies. And I got an outbreak on my legs, of all places, but I did get an outbreak. So apparently my body is not quite ready to incorporate other foods yet, but I'm pretty confident that I might be able to. But even so, I will be 90% carnivore with maybe a little bit of something else in the ketogenic realm. So that's my story.
So it seems to me like without the microbes, nothing would exist, because they're part of all life. And
Nothing.
And we've extrapolated this idea that they're all bad, but they're truly not. But the microbes are part of life, but they're certainly having more havoc on us humans around the globe because of our lifestyle and our food fantasies. And we've sort of been duped by some masterful story that which is sugar cane essentially, which we've always been exploited in this world. But without the virus, the bacteria, the yeast, and the other microbes, all life would not exist. I mean, they're the reason life exists anyway. But it is remarkable how we found this little quirk that maybe we evolved not eating plants primarily, but eating animal products. And so what's your daily habit of food?
My daily habit. Well, I have embraced almost automatically intermittent fasting. Not in the first month. In the first month, I ate whenever I felt like I wanted something. It was staving off cravings. It was helping me get through that period of adjustment when my microbiome was changing. So I eat once a day in the evenings, and I will eat ruminant animals. I eat beef or lamb and eggs. And I drink water or a Perrier or, you know, some kind of soda water as my big treat. And that's basically it. I do eat butter. I can do heavy cream. I love coffee, so that would be my number one foods or drinks that I consume that is, you know, off the carnivore diet or is not an animal food. But I do not have a problem with it. And that's it. I will eat chicken. My husband's a fisherman. So when I'm in Greece, I eat fish. I don't eat fish in the United States. I can't find any fresh fish, and I'm terribly spoiled.
Do you do any extended fasting, any prolonged fasting?
You know, I have not yet, and I have been watching all of you, in fact, and the other carnivores out there who talk about extended fasting. I listen a lot to Carrie at Homestead How, another just regular guy, you know, like me, who is doing all these wonderful things in the carnivore world. And he talks about fasting. I haven't. I used to do that in my yoga days when I was all raw vegan and everything. I would go on these long fasts, and I know it's not a difficult thing. Right now, it's not a possibility because of my my schedule. But I doing the OMAD diet, I do it more here than I do in Greece, oddly enough. And I would like to. I haven't done it yet. And one of these days when you guys go on one of the extended fasts, I may want to join in on that. But hopefully I'll be back in Greece where I can move more inwardly and focus on what's happening inside and out in my life in a less stressful situation.
We do have a bunch of questions already. Let's take some of them for her. Vida. Go ahead and read it, Alia.
I totally read it, not realizing I had my mic on mute. Okay, a bacon runner. Maybe herpes virus is oxalate dumping. Do you think that shingles is a herpes virus?
Shingles is absolutely a herpes virus. It is the varicella zoster virus. It comes from chickenpox, and we call it shingles in the United States. I don't know, you guys. This whole changing the names of things here in the U.S. to make it sound better is just seems ridiculous to me. When I first went to Greece, I am half Greek. My mom is Greek. So, I mean, I've been going to Greece my entire life. But when I moved there and I was with my husband, my future husband at the time, you know, and on this island, and my mother-in-law, I got an outbreak, right? And she looks at me and she says, "Oh, that's herpes." And I was like, "This isn't herpes. This is a cold sore." I didn't know. I had no clue. I thought it was a cold sore. And I just thought she just didn't know what she's talking about. How vain of me. And I went, and we didn't have internet at the time, so you couldn't just go look things up like we can today, or ask ChatGPT, you know, a whole nother thing, but searching the information. And then I found out that everybody does say they call it a herpes because it is in fact herpes. But outside of the United States, the shame is not wrapped around it. Not even, at least in Greece, in genital herpes, which, you know, is the big scary one. So I don't know.
So the name changing has to do with naming customs of the different places, but shingles, zoster, varicella zoster is all the same
It's all the same.
virus that causes shingles and causes varicella when you know, chickenpox.
Right.
It is all the same virus.
Right.
Next question, please.
Sure. I just want to read this from Karen. Wow, praise the Lord. Such wonderful healing. Thank you for being so vulnerable with your story.
Oh, thank you for, those are music to my ears, because this is not easy to come out and just be so open about it. I mean, nobody wants to talk about things like that. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Isn't it remarkable how through social media,
Mm-hmm.
we've all been able to connect with others that are suffering and recognize that we're not alone. And that's given us such power in the world that we don't have to line up at our doctor's office to get the story, which is we're broken.
Yes.
Which is not us, it's the story and the system that's broken. And we have to get back to our ancient Greek roots of small villages and fishing and raising the herbivores for all of us to live in a way that just isn't. And do you think small amounts of plants processed properly are truly our problem, or is it mostly just overeating a plant-based low animal fat diet?
For me, and I would say this generally, not being a researcher or a doctor or anybody, I'm just an artist, right?
A human being.
A human being, yes. It's the problem is too many carbs and overconsumption of carbohydrates, which just keeps us. I talk to people and I tell them that carbohydrates are like sprinters, right? So if you're going to sprint, you got to go really fast, and then you're exhausted, you drop. And it just seems like this motion is happening all day long. This burst of energy, and then you drop. This burst of energy, and you drop. And on a ketogenic lifestyle, the energy is like a marathon runner, and you just can go and go and go and go. So I don't know how this works in my mind, and the information that I've gotten. It seems like when we eat too many carbohydrates and we're on that spike of running, sprinting, and then we drop, it's not only just physically, it's our mental clarity that also goes through the same process, because we are not separate pieces in a human being. We are mind, body, and spirit, and all of that is working together and connecting or disconnecting. And it just seems like that's what's happening. So we get a mental block, we crash, brain fog. We also get emotional upsets where, I used to just burst out emotionally and just freak out and get upset and cry over this and get pissed off over that. And without expecting it, without even knowing, I go carnivore and that stops. Why? And the only explanation that I have, you guys can tell me, is that it's the ketones. It's running on fats. It's that marathon running. So it's happening not just physically in my body, it's happening emotionally and mentally as well. And spiritually, I opened up. How did that happen? I mean,
Carnivore makes we're lions. We're the Lion of Judah. We're Christ, all of us. We have Buddha, Lao Tse, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham. It's all built in our nature. This is who and what we are, but we're drugged on plants. I mean, carbohydrates are plants.
right.
We don't eat carbs, we eat plants or animals.
Yes.
And it's a high plant-based, low animal fat diet and 3 to 6 meals a day, which is basically poison our body, and it feeds the microbes, which make alcohol. So we're all drugged all day. And that's the enslavement from the exploration of exploitable human beings based on a scientific story. I mean, what other animal looks for a recipe book or takes supplements in order to live their life? None.
None.
And it is a wild life, a life of an animal, an organism, a human being, because that's what we're supposed to live. It's supposed to be vibrant and full of all sorts of opposites in some way, but plants are a problem, not carbohydrates.
I have often said to people who ask me, how the carnivore diet, that's wrong, it's this and that. Everybody knows the story. And I say, okay, well, let's just assume that suddenly you wake up one day, you have no home, there are no supermarkets, there's no grocery stores, there's no pharmacies, there's nothing. What would you do? Do you really believe that if it's in the spring, in Greece anyways, in the spring, right, you'd have some fruits that are blooming, apricots, peaches, cherries, things like that. Do you really think you could survive off of that? You could eat them for maybe a month, and then the tree would be gone. I mean, the fruit would be gone. Then what would you eat? Would you scrounge for plants? Would you even know which plants to scrounge for? Nobody, I mean, you would learn those things, but you still cannot survive unless you're eating animals. The first thing you would do is get a spear and go fishing, right? You would try and spear your fish. You would try and get an animal. You would try and eat an animal, because you know that animal not only will sustain you, but you can use the bones, you can use the animal's skin for clothing, for warmth. You can use it completely, which, yeah, I don't like the idea of killing animals, but at the same time, it is my sustenance, and it is what keeps me going. And then one day I will be a part of the earth, and the animals and the microbes and whatever is going to be eating me. So it is the cycle of life. And how come?
What other? Well, let's say we're an omnivore. Bear. Bear says, "I don't want to really kill you. I don't like this, but I got it." I mean, we've created a story that, oh, we don't really like to kill things, but if you don't, you will be dead.
Exactly.
And what's the most, ultimately, reproduction is all that matters. And so we're killing our future by thinking we're something we're not.
Exactly. And I don't know why we all believe that if you eat just plants to save the animals, that you're actually saving animals. I mean, it's documented. Everybody knows this, that the monocrops out there are killing more animals, insects, bees than if you go out and shoot a deer. If you go out and shoot a deer, you shoot a deer. It's one deer. And it will sustain you for quite a while. We do have it wrong, and our thinking about it is wrong, and we are all quite. I don't know. Those types of thoughts changed, of course, when I went carnivore, not that because now I'm eating meat that I have to believe this, but there was a real sense of grounding. So I, in my art channel, right, I talk about art and I talk about creativity. I mean, creativity is something that's infinite, and the only way for an artist or people in any sense to use creativity, we have to bring it in. It's almost like going through the chakras, right? And you limit and limit and limit the creativity to get to the point where you're standing in front of the easel and you're physically creating, you're acting on the inspiration that you had. Well, somehow I have no scientific basis for this, but somehow when I was on my previous life eating carbs, plants and fruits and things like that, most of my life was just up here in my head. I was never able to siphon it down, to limit that creativity and do things in the physical world to any extent. So I'm always like siphoned off, cut off. And then this carnivore thing happens, and I'm doing it for a completely different reason, get rid of these herpes outbreaks, or at the very least make them better so I'm not suffering so much. And suddenly I'm finding that I get an idea, right? Something comes in and I bring it down and I pass it through and I make it physical. So my YouTube channel coming out and speaking about herpes is an act. Otherwise, I just stay in my head on my quiet little Greek island and never talk about it, and nobody would ever know. But there's others out there that need help, that are looking for a solution, and this might be their solution. In my mind, it definitely is their solution. So it's just interesting how my entire body connected, my inner world with my outer world became balanced. And it's in yoga we say mind, body, spirit. I think more in other spiritual ideas, it's basically the same thing. God, the Son, the Holy Ghost in one. And Buddhist philosophy is moving in and letting go and becoming present. It's all the same thing, but it just seemed to happen naturally on Carnivore. Like I didn't have to do anything. I got confident. Where did that come from? I've never been confident. I go Carnivore and now I'm confident. Why?
Because plants are drugs that damage your brain. And alcohol is made in the gut via fermentation of a protein, low-fat, plant-based diet. We don't eat protein. We don't eat carbs. We eat animals or we eat plants. That's the diet.
Yes.
And both of those things are broken down, but plants contain a tremendous amount of substances, and even caffeine, nicotine, basically are addictive substances. Now, yeah. I'm not anti small amounts of these things. We live with other human beings. We drive cars, fly planes, and walk across the street, which are all deadly dangerous things. We are all here to modify our own lifestyles. This is not a place of judgment. We're here as a place of embracing and loving everyone. This is what's really important. But what you're sharing, la vida, the life, the true life is that we are lions, we are wolves, we are pack animals. Yes. We have been basically domesticated by the explorers of the world that went around to exploit the world, mostly from sugar, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, nicotine, and caffeine. And we live to be in the party place. And this is more of a world of I think religion realigns us, in the masses have the ability to control their own lives through the message you're sharing. And everyone here is talking about Larry Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yep. And all of that is invested right back into what we do. We are here to offer all of our wisdom and words. And I'm only doing this because I learned this just like Vida and Dr. Nelson and Alia. My doctors that gave me drugs for my arthritis, my psoriasis, my kidney stones, my bowel bleeding, my anxiety, depression, and it's going on today more and more. It's a world of how do we make more money?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Amy says, as a child, I had fever, blisters every spring, school, pictures with painful swollen glands in my neck, the genital herpes in my 20s, going all natural foods, lowish carbs, got much better. Carnivore gone. Amazing.
Yeah.
We got a ton of questions and comments here. So the Black Fleet, I hope he's still around. I've been on a carnivore diet for 3 months and I have gout. Later, he says he was 313 pounds and 3 months later he's 327, so he lost a lot of weight. Dr. Nelson, you wanna take this one?
So I don't know if the gout started after going carnivore or has had gout and now it's carnivore. Some follow-up questions come to my mind. I don't know.
Sure.
Carnivore doesn't cause gout. If you have gout, you might have a period where your uric acid may go up. You might want to limit the organ meats and certain seafoods. But most people eventually, gout doesn't come back. So, and I think it's very similar to Vida's experience with the infections. A lot of people find that going carnivore, high fat, helps with the immune system fighting infections or what we name autoimmune diseases. Next question.
Let's see here. All right. Carrie says, how meat get rid of herpes? And later she says, her body loves all meats and juicing kale. She thinks, I think we need our greens, but how does meat get rid of herpes?
What do you think, Vida?
I think that it's not the meat that gets rid of herpes. That's not it. It's eliminating it's eliminating everything else that allows the body, because I'm getting everything I need from meats and fats. My body feels completely satiated. So I think it has more to do with lowering or just eliminating all plants, fruits, just eliminating everything and focusing on the most sustainable food on the planet. And your body takes everything that it needs and knows what to do with it. And when that happens, your immune system becomes much stronger. And it just seems to keep things in check. I mean, I haven't gotten rid of the herpes. The herpes are still there. If I go on and start eating pizzas and, ice creams and cakes and everything, I'm going to have an outbreak. It's going to allow that to come through again. So it's more of a coming back into balance, because when we are in balance, it's not just that the herpes will dissipate or go away. You won't get the outbreaks, but your mind becomes focused and clear. Your emotional state becomes leveled off. It's not that you become a zombie. I mean, I can still get upset, I can still cry, but it is not anywhere near what it was when I was eating all the plants and all the fruit. That's what I think.
Dr. Kiltz, you have a theory?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question.
Well, I just want to say this real quick, and
Okay.
based on something George said. So we have banana trees, tangerine trees, papaya trees, mango trees, or one or multiple of all of these trees. They take forever. Like if we were supposed to live off of these trees, we wouldn't be able to. By the way, it takes forever for the fruit to arrive, and then it's gone. It's gone.
It's
Either
a few
by
weeks,
yeah,
maybe a month or two of the year, right?
Exactly.
And
So we cannot survive off of plants. They can be a treat once in a while. Maybe you come across a beehive once in a while and you dare to go in.
not me.
I don't think I would do.
I wouldn't know how to get the honey out of it.
We're sending Alia.
Yeah. Did you, Karen asked, did you ever have shingles during outbreaks?
Well, those were my outbreaks. Those were the ones I was getting on my body were shingles, or the third herpes virus. So yes, absolutely. But I mean, and usually people get shingles, herpes on one area, just one spot, and I was getting them also on my neck and on both sides of my body, which is unusual. So I am an extreme case. And I guess I should say also that part of that might be the extensiveness of the outbreaks was also because my Hashimoto's markers, the anti-TPO, I believe it is, was at like 2,500.
Wow.
And that I didn't even know. I had no idea. This was 4 months into my first carnivore, when I went carnivore, and I thought I better go get a blood test to see if I'm gonna die, right? If this is gonna kill me, because I was still convinced it was gonna kill me. And then I saw that, because I got my thyroid checked, I saw that I had this huge number. And they were like, well, you need to get to an endocrinologist, you need to go take all the pills, you need to do all of this. And I was like, I'm not doing anything because I feel great. I'll wait a few months and then go back. And I went back, and you guys, it had dropped from 2,500 to 60.
Yep.
Simply by being carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about controversy here. Can you read that question, Alia?
No.
Or
Everyone can read
Vida.
it for themselves.
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so I cannot actually read
I'll read it for you.
Okay.
Someone is asking, do you recommend the shingles vaccine? You answer that, Vida.
Well, first of all, it's not 100% a 100% solution. So no, I generally would say no. I do not recommend it. I have not gotten it, and I will not get it because I have seen through experience, not through mental belief, through experience only, that I can bring my body back into balance. And if I'm in balance, why on earth would I go and get the vaccine? It won't benefit me in any way, from what I can understand.
Well, your pattern of eating has decreased your recurrences to nothing, really, essentially.
Yeah.
So you've done the job. So you
Exactly.
definitely don't
That
need it.
is,
And
carnivore diet is my vaccine.
There you go. GFG Homestead, did you ever experience any oxalate dumping?
I have no idea, because at the time I knew nothing about oxalate dumping. So when I went carnivore, I'm pretty sure I had oxalate dumping. You guys, all of the tendency for us to like dig in and get like specific this and all of these things, like oxalate dumping, and eat this type of yogurt or don't eat any yogurt at all, and all the reasons for it. To me, in my world, if I'm eating yogurt for example, and I have a problem, like, or if then I'll just stop eating the yogurt and I'll get better. I'll go back to my baseline. My baseline is carnivore. My baseline is carnivore. If I'm going to do oxalate dumping or have some kind of symptoms, okay. But if I'm at my baseline, I just seem to be okay. And I know that's not true for everybody. Some people really have some serious problems with that. When I talk to people about my experience, and because they're wanting to try carnivore, when they're having problems, we go through that, but it has more to do with just let go and allow this change to work its way through so that you can come out on the other side. That's pretty much my answer. I didn't know anything about oxalate dumping when I went carnivore. I had symptoms, I had some problems, but it was just in the first month and then it was gone.
Story described the damage that we get from plants, essentially. And it doesn't matter. This is where we get so much fun in our science, but the simplicity of the story is easy. There's going to be hardships no matter what you do. Disease and death will come upon all of us at some point in our life. We're born to die, but we're also born to be creative, paint and pottery and music and dance and all the things we're doing, including writing amazing books and stories, because that's the human evolutionary truth. And rather than seeking riches, we should seek a rich life. Mm-hmm. And can you drink some coffee and have some whiskey, wine, or beer sometimes? Oh my God, you had some Kiltz ice cream. Enjoy it time to time. The problem is we created a supermarket that supermarkets to all of us, mm-hmm. and we get sick from what we eat at the supermarkets, and they also happen to have a pharmacy built within the supermarkets. So you can't go wrong. And then they sell you the insurance within the super box markets. And we're supermarketed by the kings and queens that amass riches and through controlling the masses.
Yes.
Truth.
Comment or question, Alia? What is that?
Yeah, we got a couple of them. Dr. Kiltz would like to know, what is the carnivore world like in Greece?
The carnivore.
You already answered that.
The carnivore world in Greece, was that the question?
Yeah. What is it like in sharing your story, other carnivores, and building community?
In Greece, there is a carnivore community growing. Most of my videos are in English, so I don't get all of the Greeks, although most Greeks speak English anyways. So there is interest, there is growth. People are having just incredible, as everywhere else in the world. So Greece is a very interesting, small, tiny, energetic, ancient country. And their foods, their classic foods, are based in meat and, obviously vegetables and fruits, the classic Mediterranean diet. So people may not know about it. Like when I first went vegan, nobody knew anything about vegan. They were like, what? You don't eat meat? Are you crazy? And now I say I eat only meat, and they're like, what? You don't eat any vegetables? Are you nuts? So it's not there yet. But you know what? I came here in August, and I thought that anywhere I went, people would know, because this is where the carnivore lifestyle just kind of took off. And people don't know anything about the carnivore diet. And I am surprised. And they're asking me questions. What, you don't eat any plants? And I'm surprised. I'm in the United States. This is where everybody is. All the big, carnivore people. The word's getting out. We're talking about it. There's podcasts. And nobody has a clue. As much here as in Greece. So I find that
you have opened yourself to a topic that some people, don't find easy to admit. Thank you for that. This one is less problematic, I would think. This
But there's a more problematic question coming up. But
yeah, pooping
like
must
this
be
one.
hard for these people. Dr. But Vida, first, do you have a problem with bowel movements because you're a carnivore?
Okay. This is an interesting topic because in my life, because my entire life, I have been constipated. My entire life. I get to 56 and I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat meat and I'm going to explode because I just never go to the bathroom, never poop. It'll just never happen. And in fact, I was comforted by, well, you can go, maybe it'd be 3 or 4 days before. That was the beginnings in the carnivore world. They were telling me that. And I thought, well, okay. So I didn't worry about it. And then actually a couple years into carnivore where I was kind of like that, I would consider myself constipated. And I was like, why? Why is this happening? And I did not think that I needed to have fiber. I just couldn't understand why I was constipated. Well, then I started drinking more water. That helped. But then here's, because of my age and the menopause and things like that, I started to have leg cramps at night. So because of the leg cramps, I started taking electrolytes. And I'm thinking, well, I'm carnivore. If I'm getting everything I need, why do I need to take electrolytes? I should be getting enough. But anyways, I was getting these really bad Charlie horses. I were bad ones. And as soon as I started taking magnesium, I'm no longer constipated. Like I go every single day and with no stress. It's, you're not struggling to get it out. Just nice. Just like when I go to pee, I'm peeing like I'm 20 years old, not 61. Like, I pee like I'm 20, which was just, I thought that was the best thing on the planet. And I sleep all night. I just don't have any of the old age problems. But yeah, the magnesium, there was a lack of magnesium in my system, definitely before carnivore and maybe just continuing into carnivore. For some reason, I do not have the electrolytes that I need. So I would love to ask you guys, what would be a solution to that?
Take some electrolytes.
Well, that's what I do.
No other animal worries whether they're going to go or not. We've been brainwashed to think we got to go. The colon is meant to gather the waste. When it's full, release the waste. Like your bladder. When your bladder is full, you says you got to go, you go. Nobody's thinking, I got to pee, I got to pee, I got to pee. Oh, I haven't peed. It's just when it's time, you go. True. So the brainwashing is number one. I got to go every day. I go maybe once a week because what I eat is there's no waste. It's absorbed through my intestines, into my lymphatics in my liver, and it's distributed everywhere. And so that is our number one problem. We've been taught by Charmin and many others and all the drugs, because you're right. What is constipation? It's the feeling and sense you got to go, but it won't come out. That's bloating, it's inflammation, it's bleeding, it's fermentation. Constipation isn't that I didn't go. It's that it feels like you can't, and try to force it. Be patient. You would one day, you know, if you just be patient, it will come out. But part of the problem is that everything is sanitary now. It's sanitation. I mean, the water, we don't have natural water anymore. It's completely not natural. And you know, we used to hunt and gather the salt and the animals and those things. And you know, we're salt phobic. And in natural salt by the shore or in a salt mine, it has all the minerals in it. Everything's there, but you know, we don't consume it.
Yeah. Can I say when on the island, when I go down, because I go down to the rocks and I gather seawater, or when my husband goes out fishing, he gathers seawater and I bring it home and I make salt. And when I'm eating that salt, things work a lot better. The cramps lessen, and you know, by you saying that, I made that connection just now. So.
And part of the biggest problem is the colon is highly damaged and inflamed. Secondary significant fermentation and the microbial damage, the sugar damage, the glycation, the alcohol made in our bodies. That is the biggest culprit and problem. And by the way, I stopped cold turkey again a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know what it was, maybe 2 weeks ago. I stopped cold turkey 2.5 years ago, no coffee. And then I went back on it for 2 months. And now I'm off it again. Cold turkey.
702.
Alia?
We got a ton of questions. Should we keep going, or should we just call it a day?
I can keep going if you're all into it. That's fine.
Couple more questions, and then we'll go
We'll go for the. Okay, let's do the questions first. But everyone hashtag KMT. Okay. Let's see. Here, this one. This is the one I was saying is controversial. I thought herpes came from intercourse. What is happening here?
Okay. Herpes, that is the second herpes virus, which, yes, is transferred usually through sex, through sexual contact. That's just the way that it passes on. But the cold sores also pass on through human contact. And so the first two herpes virus, that is how it's passed on. I'm not sure about the other ones. Like the
varicella zoster or chickenpox is mainly through air, okay? Droplets through air, and you only infectious for certain. There, like you have said very eloquently, 8 herpes viruses that affect most commonly humans. There are actually hundreds, if not thousands, of herpes viruses, but there are 8 that are more common to humans, and each one transmitted in a little bit of a different way. Herpes simplex 1 and 2 transmit through direct contact, and actually all of them could, but the preferred method of transmission may vary from one to the other. Go ahead, Dr. Kiltz.
Well, remember, we've created a story, but ultimately these microbes are everywhere. They're on the plants, in the air, and we've claimed them to be sexually transmitted. They're transmitted by life, and so we've claimed, oh, it must have been you had sex, and you got it with sex. Well, there's so many ways all these things are transmitted around the globe, but think about it. I mean, how did you get that cold virus, right? All these other microbes, they're everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And to this person who asked this question, and to anybody out there, when I started getting genital herpes, and I was thinking, oh my God, my husband must have, had an affair, or then when I learned more about it, I was thinking, I learned that you actually cannot say for sure who gave it to you, because I could have gotten it years ago when I was, in my 20s. The outbreak could have been something that looked and felt like an ingrown hair, and I just don't know it. Or most people don't even get an outbreak, so you never know that you actually have herpes simplex 2, genital herpes. You actually don't know. So I'm not saying that you you need to be responsible when you're talking with people and letting them know, but you can't blame somebody specifically. You did this to me. We need to just break out of that that thinking.
It's sort of, this is life. It's sort of like, you're right. You did this to me. No, because no matter what you do, you must assume it's everywhere. But who cares? The reason it's everywhere, because this is life. It's the soup. It's a messy, chaotic soup, but without it, life does not exist.
Exactly.
Does not exist. All right.
Let's just do one more. Just do this last one. Greg would like to know, is carnivore safe if you have type 2 diabetes and low blood sugar?
No, it is not safe for the medical community, the pharmaceutical world, or my job. So please do not do carnivore, because then I will not have a job of taking care of sick people. But if you want to control your life and be the lion, yes. And type 2 diabetes is caused by what, Dr. Nelson?
Too many plants, not enough meat.
Plants in a low-fat diet. Low-fat, plant-based diet.
Greg, are you a member of the Kiltz Mighty Tribe? If you're not, please go to drkiltz.com, find your way to the Kiltz Mighty Tribe, sign up. It's free. Come to our Zoom meetings, our community. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. It is safe. Most doctors should be telling patients you can reverse your diabetes, and they do not. And Dr. Kiltz has won like 4 or 5 times already. I still haven't seen my name there.
All right. Vida, would you just scroll through those that are here today and pick one?
Scroll through.
I don't know. Can you do that?
I don't know if she sees the whole thing.
I just clicked on this one.
Which one? I'm sorry.
I blindly clicked on Target Prime Rib.
Oh, I did that, but
he's the winner.
He's the winner. Look. That's
no,
funny.
All right.
Tom, email me your address.
They're black and grays. Just email Alia with which one you want.
Yeah.
Kiltz Mighty Tribe is for free. We have our courses. We want to all be the ambassadors of the carnivore lifestyle around the globe. And we're embracing our brothers and sisters that are vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, everyone, and shine the light in Greece, in Italy, in Puerto Rico, in Colombia, but wherever you're at in this world, we want you to know that this is a game changer, because we take back the power we're born with, and plants eat plants through nature's cows. Eat beef.
Perfect.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Did you make it so I could just click on it, Alia?
Yeah,
in the
you
morning?
just click on it. It's this Christmas live stream, so you'll be all
And
right.
anyone wants to join Kiltz?
I'll be there in the morning.
Okay, good.
I'm not setting my alarm, so if I wake up, I'll be there.
Yeah. Well, I get up at 3 a.m. except this morning because I went to bed at 1.
Oh my gosh. Go take a nap. Goodbye, everybody.
Vida, God bless you.